So recently the Nintendo Switch came out, and game theorists actually made a really good video on the thesis that Nintendo is going to gear toward augmented reality, as Sony and Microsoft and things like that, they're going to go in the direction of VR. Me and my friends have been speculating the same thing for about a year or two now. Ever since Pokemon Go came out, we knew that augmented reality was the poor man's VR. That people of lower income brackets aren't going to be able to afford the overly expensive, detailed graphics and promises of VR systems. I personally don't think in my lifetime, or probably even my grandson's lifetime, there would ever be like VR in anime or anything. Because honestly, technology is shit. Technology is shit for a multitude of reasons. Some of it its own physical limitations. A lot of people don't really realize all that goes into programming and hardware and just how hard it would be to make something science fiction-y. That's just the reality. The reality is life's pretty bad on its own, without even the hand of mankind sticking it in there. But then on top of it, then when you do have mankind sticking its hand in there, oh, it gets so much worse. For example, um, you know, I have a Windows 8. I use an old computer. Why am I going to spend buku bucks on a Windows 10? Or Windows 11 or whatever. See, I don't even care. And there, the wire burned out about a year ago. So I used a different wire. What is that, like $5, $10? I'm not upgrading. So you do that. Then about another 6, 7 months later, it wasn't charging again. This time the wire wasn't burnt out. There was nothing physically wrong with the wire. It just wasn't charging. I had to look into it on my computer to see if maybe there was something canceling out, it telling me that it's charging, but it is charging. These are the types of things that happen. No. So then I was like, well, maybe the lead on the tip of the dick burnt out because it's just outputting so much power that it melted the lead off of it and it's not really connecting. It's like when a dick is only in the vagina, in the tip, so it can still waste electricity, it can still get her pregnant, but it doesn't feel good. Um, so I tried a different plug and that worked. But then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not fucking using a different plug every 6, 7 months. So then all I did was unattach the new plug, reattach the old plug, and it started charging normally again. This is not the most scientific method by any fucking means. I took two plugs and I shoved them into a tiny, little teenage girl's hole until it worked. That's what I did. But that makes me an expert programmer. Because that's the kind of technology we're dealing with here. We're not dealing with robotic girlfriends that have feelings just like people, probably better than people. We're not dealing with VR systems from Sword Art Online where if you die in the game, you die for real. We're dealing with a fucking shiny screen that every couple of months something happens to it, and you either have to know what you're doing or pay out the ass to get somebody that knows what they're doing. That's it. And that's not going to change anytime soon. But on top of that, just sheer reality, then you have to worry about people. You have to worry about capitalism. I know I'm going to turn off some of my mgtow fans by mentioning capitalism in a bad light, but hear me out. It's because of capitalism. You're going to have to pay fucking, what, $300 for this new Nintendo Switch. And, it's not even going to have a large variety of games at first. It might not ever. A lot of consoles just don't live up to the hype. You're just going to have all this bullshit, and eventually you're going to be spending all this money for nothing. For nothing, because to me, why are you going to spend money on something that doesn't even appreciate it? And I don't mean appreciate it in the sense of, okay, they gave you a nice item, they gave you a nice something to enjoy. You buy something to enjoy it. That's what I'm trying to say. You buy something to enjoy its product. And if you do enjoy the product, that's good, that's great. But they never intended for you to enjoy the product. In fact, you enjoying the product is bad. That's bad for business. If you enjoy the product, you're not out buying more products. The point isn't for them to make the ultimate game that can make you have fun for 2 years straight. The point of capitalism is to make a game that is mediocre and you're done in 2 weeks. And then you have to go and get another game. That's how capitalism operates. That is how it's systematically operated. So, knowing that, you know you're not going to get a good product. On top of that, that's just baby capitalism. That's just the normal stuff. On top of that, we have a system where nobody gives a shit about each other, nobody gives a shit about the law, nobody gives a shit about anything traditional or anything. People can do whatever they want sometimes. And what I mean by that is Nintendo, for example, banned a bunch of people for downloading illegally beta copies of Pokemon Sun and Moon. I know some of you remember that story. And they just went on this massive ban crusade because people were downloading the Japanese beta of Sun and Moon or some shit. And who's to say these people weren't, paying customers that were buying games and just so excited because you know how fans get about their fucking games. God forbid I say anything bad about video games. These people throw their fucking nutsack out the window and want to kill themselves. Are you that shocked that they would sneak around and go on, these seedy websites and risk a computer virus on their fucking Nintendo 3DS, whatever the fuck it's called, and risk a virus for it just to get this beta? No, I am not shocked that a hardcore fan would want this game right here, right now. I'm not shocked by that. And Nintendo punishes them for their humongous passion for the franchise. They are punishing them because they are so in love and so I don't even know how to describe it. Where they worship them. They worship them. They look at them like God. These people are on their knees, groveling, waiting for the next Pokemon game, waiting for the next Mario game. And I know I sound like I'm exaggerating, but have you seen some of these conventions? Have you seen some of the amounts of money these people flesh out? And I'm not saying they're all like that. Some of them are just casual dudes that want to play a game and, relax before they got to go back to work. I get that. But there are a lot of hardcore fans out there, and there are a lot of people that do act like that. And what's sad is that you live in a society that acknowledges that. You know this happens, but then you're going to treat them like shit. Why? Where is the logic in that? The business model of it makes sense. The business model of it is that you want to make money right there, right now. You don't want your hardcore fans getting something for free, even though it's like in Japanese and it's a beta product. And the fact is, they're gonna probably buy it anyway because they're so fucking dedicated. None of that matters to you. All that matters is you gotta send out a message that they only get to enjoy a product when you say that they do. That's the kind of society you actually live in. Don't sugarcoat it. Don't give me this bullshit about freedom of speech and freedom of the press and freedom to own guns and freedom. You don't have any fucking freedom. You have no fucking freedom. You are being watched all the time. You are being traced all the time. Ooh, but somebody's threatened to dox me on Reddit. Better ban them. You can't say a word. I can't say a word without getting banned at least 3 or 4 times a week. But the Constitution only means the government can't censor you. But the government put you on a watch list because of the things you said. So yeah, they kinda can. They kinda can, and you really, really have no freedom. You probably live the same way as some fucker in ISIS. That's just the reality, man. Your life is just as shitty as fucking Mohammed's over in the Taliban. That's why they call them the Taliban, because they get banned too. And you're sitting here bullshitting me, and meanwhile you're getting all hyped about a fucking new Nintendo system. That's why I can't cater to that kind of mgtow. I cannot cater to the mgtow of ultra consumerism that's like, ooh man, porn, video games. No, I won't do it.